With not certainty for hope is a traditional proverb urging caution and pragmatism. In essence, it tells us not to abandon something definite or secure in exchange for a mere possibility or hope. This idea is familiar in many cultures. For example, a Bengali equivalent says, অনিশ্চিতের আশায় নিশ্চিত পরিত্যাগ করিও না, which literally means do not give up certainty on the hope of uncertainty. English wisdom expresses a similar thought in sayings like, a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. Merriam-Webster explains that this means it is better to hold on to something one has than to risk losing it by trying for something better. In other words, the proverb warns us to value what we already have and not gamble it away chasing an uncertain promise. At its most direct level, with not certainty for hope advises sticking with what is sure rather than risking it for a doubtful prospect. One language guide summarizes this meaning plainly. It is better to choose something that is certain and guaranteed rather than taking a risk on something that is uncertain and based on hope. In practical terms, this could mean choosing a sure but modest gain over a potential large one that may never materialize. A Victorian proverb collection puts it poetically: better a sure shilling than a sovereign in the clouds. Never trust promising appearances so as to give up what you have realized. In short, the proverb cautions against giving up a known advantage just for a hoped for but unguaranteed benefit. Put another way, it encourages prudence over recklessness. It reminds us to compare the known versus the unknown. As the saying implies, a firm achievement or position should not be sacrificed for a mere expectation of something better. For example, one commentary notes that people have always thought it's wise not to give up a sure thing for the unsure. Thus, the proverb's advice is to weigh real, existing advantages against mere hopes and generally favor the former. The proverb's theme appears throughout world folklore and literature. For instance, Aesop's fables convey the same lesson in different stories. In one well-known fable, The Fisherman and the Little Fish, a fisherman catches a small fish that begs to be released so it can grow. The fisherman replies, "Nah, I should be a very simpleton to let go a good thing I have got and run after a doubtful expectation." The fable's moral is blunt. A small gain is worth more than a large promise. This mirrors our proverb exactly. Don't throw away a sure, if small, benefit for an uncertain larger one. Another illusion is the dog and its reflection. In this ancient tale, a dog carrying a bone sees its reflection in water and mistakes it for another dog with a bigger bone. In trying to snatch the bigger bone, he drops his own. As one source notes, the story teaches to be contented with what one has and not to relinquish substance for shadow. A medieval Persian manuscript even depicts the dog gazing at its reflection in the stream. The image captures the proverb's warning: chasing a mere reflection costs the real bone. This theme appears in many traditions. Even in Eastern philosophy, similar fables caution against greedily seeking more. The core idea is that security and contentment with what one has are virtues, and that hope alone is not enough to justify giving up real gains. Writers through the ages have reiterated this lesson. These stories and proverbs embed the wisdom in vivid terms so that readers remember not to give up certain substance for an uncertain shadow. In modern life, the proverb guides many practical decisions. It is often invoked when someone faces a choice between a sure but modest option and an uncertain chance at something better. In everyday advice, people might say never quit certainty for hope to encourage prudent choices. When deciding between a secure job and a risky business venture, it is important to never quit certainty for hope. In other words, don't abandon a steady income for a startup without guarantees. In matters of the heart, it's wise to never quit certainty for hope. Don't give up a stable and loving relationship for the possibility of something better. Here, the proverb suggests valuing a dependable partner over the hope of finding someone more exciting who may not exist. When making financial decisions, it is crucial to never quit certainty for hope. Choose investments with a proven track record rather than speculative opportunities. This advises preferring a safe, known investment over a high risk gamble. Beyond this, the proverb is applied whenever weighing risk versus security. For example, a person might resist selling guaranteed bonds to buy volatile stocks or delay quitting a stable career for an unproven startup because they remember quit not certainty for hope. In personal finance and self help content, writers use the proverb to stress common sense. Better a modest sure profit than the unfulfilled dream of a huge payoff. The same idea often appears in company slogans or political speeches in rewarded form. Leaders may warn citizens not to waste solid gains on empty promises. In short, the proverb reminds us to balance ambition with caution. It has enduring relevance for any situation involving risk. Whether one is choosing a college major, evaluating a business deal, or simply deciding to save rather than spend, the core meaning holds. Don't sacrifice what is certain on the altar of mere possibility.